Good morning. Hey, Hendrik.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry, I was already speaking.
Hey, no problem. I was gonna ask you, I was gonna ask you, um, from the issues, there's the issues that you're marking as hash graph transfer. Many of them are old issues. I was gonna ask you if I can help cleaning them up. I just posted the link in the chat.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Ah, okay.
I think many of them we can just close um,
Yeah, yeah.
so that we can make room for new ones.
I assume so. Yeah.
And with that, I think we have this one, the Hedera cryptography repo, which was approved, but I don't. Oh yeah, people are actually replying. I was actually waiting for reply. Is there a date to set the transfer for this repository? We do not have a date at this moment. As mentioned in the TSC, we need to still go through legal. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They needed to go through legal. Okay. Okay, so I think I had this one in the back of my mind, the Hedera cryptography. So even though this project was approved for transfer, the team is still going through legal concerns. So that's fine. I'll wait for them to come back to us. We have also this Hedera CLI that I'm not sure. I think if I recall well, this Hedera CLI project, was it waiting for Richard to say something about it? Oh, there was
No,
one.
no, there was CLI. We can transfer it. Michael. Um,
Is there anything blocking it?
I don't think so. I,
It was
I,
approved, right?
yeah, I don't think there's anything blocking us.
Okay, let me reply to Mikael. Mm, okay, I replied to that one. And wasn't it, I feel like there was another one. Oh, yeah, 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 this one. Hashgraph Online Standards SDK. I think I'm sure was blocking this one. I'm just going through.
Oh yeah, that is, I don't know. I think that is something TSC Michael
Mhm.
needs to say something about that. What the state says. I don't know.
Okay, okay. So that one is still pending, Michael. And there's one more that I don't know if we recorded a TSC approval for this. Are you familiar with this one?
Oh yeah, I think yeah, that is one hey, we could maybe move that forward, but I think we now have better ideas about what we could do here. So maybe, yeah, I don't know if we need that anymore.
Okay. Okay. Should
Keep it open
we
for now. Let's keep it open for
let's keep it
now,
open?
but not concentrate on it. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, Keith. Thank you for joining.
Hey.
Hello.
We're just going through open TSE issues regarding transfers. We just passed one where you asked some questions regarding Hashgraph Online. Was it that one? Yeah, regarding Hashgraph Online. So issue 109. So we were just discussing that Michael needs to get back to you on your questions.
Okay. Yeah, I have a few other questions
Mhm.
when time allows.
No, go for it.
Uh, well, just from the meeting today, at some point I will need to transition over the did Hedera repos from Hashgraph into Hiero. So we'll figure out how that's going to work because we're not moving over the entire repo. We'll be moving content from the repo over. But I think the bigger question I had was I think I sent a request out recently about like how how do people get added as maintainers? That's been very because this came up recently around the Hiero improvement proposal. I was trying to get added as a maintainers to help Michael out get
Yes.
through his PRs. And I noticed like that did not seem to be well documented anywhere about the process to be either be added as a member or maintainer. I know
Right.
we have this like file and the governance, but actually I don't well, I personally don't really understand how it works.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. So I replied to your question yesterday with the link of the governance document, right? I know that the governance document, it's a little bit long. 1 second, I'm opening it. The roles and groups and the files. So this is the file that I linked you to. And I know that this is a little bit uh, dense, but it does has a section for committers and how to become a committer and a section for maintainers and how to become a maintainer. And they're fairly similar. I mean, both of them are like, for example, you have to have a history of contributions to your project. And once you get elected, the rest of the maintainers vote on your request to be added as a maintainer as well. And there is a request, GitHub issue to add you, I'm sorry, a pull request to add you as a maintainer. And all it needs to be done is for people to vote on it. I added a comment to that PR saying that, oh, you also contributed here and you recently contributed on these hips and these commits. I put a link to the commits that you have made in the improvement proposals repo. So all that needs to happen from this point is for other maintainers to vote on the PR, and then it just gets merged and you basically get added as a maintainer.
Okay, that's amazing. I guess my one request is, I mean, personally, I didn't find that very easy to find. Do you think we could
Okay.
just kind of pull out that information and put it into Hiero Docs, for example?
Yeah, do you think so? Is the name of the document, roles and groups, is that not intuitive enough, or is it that the document itself is kind of dense and it lacks a little bit more structure? What do you think?
You know, I'm lazy. I didn't spend forever looking for it. I kind of asked ChatGPT like how to become a maintainer in Hiero. It couldn't figure out the answer. And
Gotcha.
then like I was just searching around like through documents trying to figure out where that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me figure that out. I do believe that it has to do part of it, probably the name. I'm not 100% sure I'm sold on roles and groups.md. I think it's lacking the guidelines or rules kind of name part of the title. I do believe that we can add a little bit more like an index to this roles and groups file and make it easier to find. Now, this file is linked in every README file of each repo, so that's a good thing. So the docs repo should already have a link to this document when I think it's under the contribution side, or how to contribute, or more. I don't remember the section in a specific, but this file is linked in every repo's README file.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. I'll work on that and make it easier, more intuitive. What else? Do you guys have any other questions? Hey, Andrew, thank you for joining.
Yeah, sorry I was late. Are there any actions for me out of this meeting?
Not at the moment. We were just going through I don't know if you're able to see the chat. For people that join a little bit after, I'm not sure if you're able to see the chat history, but Hendrik and I were just going through a few of the open requests for transfer, and at the moment there's nothing that is requested like right now. Everything is pending on someone's feedback, so I think we should be good for now.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe I can circle back on the last thing you said, Jessica. That's an
Yeah.
interesting point. Maybe that's the issue, right? Like if I look at this is the hiero improvement proposal. It's the one I wanted to be added as a maintainer. We don't, because I think we just pasted and copied over the README from
Yes.
because we don't have information in this about how you become a and maybe we shouldn't, right? I don't know who we want to become maintainers here, but I don't think
Gotcha.
in this particular case we don't have that information in the README.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're missing the contribute section in that README. I can open a PR and propose the addition of it if you want. But yeah, I think you're right that this README in particular doesn't have it.
Because this README is all about how you submit
Yeah.
HIPs, like the HIP process. This doesn't have anything about the governance of this repo. And I don't know I don't even know if that README should have that. I don't know, Hendrik, what you think, but yeah, I think that's maybe what was confusing.
So can you, for example, go to Hiero? Let me see. Let me see if the Hiero docs has it, because I think yeah. So for example, can you go to Hiero docs? So this is an example of, or that one. You go to that one if you want. I think that one also should have it. So this is an example of how, if you go to the very bottom, it says there about users and maintainers. So this is very similar to how others have it as well. Again, I don't believe the name of the file itself is intuitive enough, so I'm gonna propose a change to update that one. But this is how ideally all the README files should have a section, and similar to how it also has a section for license or how to get started, etc. So those sections can be added to your README in the HIPS repo.
Okay. Well, one other comment is that we use the terminology contributors, but then I think one thing also confused me because I was like, oh, well, how do I get added in the YAML? But in the YAML, we use the terminology members.
Yeah, so it's a little bit, I know it's a little bit confusing. Oh, we have several terminologies. We have the contributor, committer, and maintainer. Contributor is a person that is basically an outsider that makes a contribution that is not part of, doesn't have any permissions to a repo other than contributing. The committers are if you see, there's two groups in the YAML file. There's maintainers and committers. So the committers have a write access, but the maintainers are the ones that ultimately have the highest level of maintain permissions in the repo. And what you see there about maintainers and members, so it's basically for that group who's going to have the ability to maintain the group and who's going to be is just like a participant on the group. So I don't think so. Those are do the permissions change based on whether you're a member or a maintainer, Andrew or Hendrik?
Yeah, permissions definitely change.
They
So
do change, right?
yeah, they definitely change.
So my comment is that I was actually very curious. I was like, well, do I need to become a member or a maintainer? And then I had searched around for like, well, what privileges, what is a member? And I don't think we've maybe because of conflicting terminology or whatever, but I don't think we've defined anywhere. I couldn't find a definition of, and ChatGPT couldn't find a definition of what a member is and what's the difference between a member and a contributor.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so I think the easiest way to boil this down is really there are only two groups we care about. We either care about contributors or we care about maintainers. The members stanza that you see there in the config file is just for our CLO warden to automatically update the various groups in GitHub. But ultimately, it boils down to, are you a contributor to this repo? So do you have write access or not? And then are you a maintainer on this repo? Do you have additional permissions to help kind of determine the whole direction of the repository or not? The members is just for that specific group and in the config file, just for CLO Warden to know what exactly, basically how to put together a team correctly in GitHub.
Okay, so we should just ignore the terms in the YAML file, basically.
Yeah, that's right. The terms in the YAML file are only used for CLO Warden.
Okay.
And I believe I don't know if I've seen, for example, if you have a project that you can play around with, when you're building a team, it tells you what does each role does, but I cannot recall if that's the case. I think I've seen it, but I cannot recall if this is true. But I think if you have a project that you can of your own that you can play around with, try building a team with different roles for a member, and you will see you get a little display on what does each role means. But yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be worried about that. The only thing that you should worry about is whether you're a maintainer or a committer. And in your case, I think the last time I saw it was still going through the approval process. So let me double check.
Yeah. It's one of those confusing things in GitHub. It says it needs 4 reviews. I guess that's like the voting process is each of the current maintainers need to weigh in.
Yeah. So at this point, you can ping them directly. I know that not everybody has their GitHub notifications added. And I think there's a comment from Henrik calling out the maintainers there to make sure they're able to approve the request. Oh, Rafael approved it, so we're just missing 2 more.
Well, can I say, because that's exactly what I was doing before this call. I was kind of pinging people, but like it says like some of the reviewers include, like, how should I decipher, like, some of the hiero-ledger LF staff. So that means that you have to review, Jessica, and then like hiero-ledger GitHub maintainers has to approve.
I think those are added by default because we're in the governance repo. So the governance repo, LF staff and GitHub maintainers have permissions to that repo in a specific, because the governance repo also has other files that are not necessarily the config, right? So we are both maintainers for this repo in particular and others. Go ahead, Andrew, you want to say something?
Yeah, so Keith, what you're seeing here for the different code review required, that's all set by the code owners file. So if you go to the root level directory of a repository, the .github folder, there will be a code owners file. And that's basically where we set if we want to protect certain files or directories from being merged, and ensure that somebody from that team takes a look at it. And those are especially used on sensitive files. So for example, you're going to see GitHub maintainers are going to be required for anything related to touching workflows, touching the gitignore file, basically anything dangerous that you can do there. You're going to see also that are quite a few protections around the code owners file itself, around things like the license file. And that's just additional protection to make sure that If somebody comes in and modifies that, it's not just, hey, get your buddy to approve it and that's it. It requires a higher level of review from somebody who is an expert in that area. Does that kind of
Yeah, but
help?
I just want to flip the script here a second. Like, pretend I don't work for Hashgraph. I'm just like a general Joe, a user who wants to get his PR approved. Like, I reached out to Serge and I asked him, hey, can I get your approval? I'll reach out to Jeremy and ask for his approval. Like, this is mystifying for anyone outside of our group about like, well, if the PR is stuck, who do I reach out to get to push for an approval?
Yeah, so what you can see here is those top two items say hiero-ledger LF staff was requested for a review as a code owner. So that means that they're tagged as a code owner on some file that you modified. And then the fact that it says, Surge was requested for a review, that means that he was the user who was picked by GitHub from the LF staff bucket of reviewers. Same kind of thing there for Jeremy and the GitHub maintainers, where Jeremy was picked by GitHub to be the appropriate point of contact. And his approval will approve the whole GitHub maintainers team assigned to this PR.
Okay, I understand now.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
That makes so as long as I get Serge and Jeremy to approve, then this PR will pass.
Yes, and actually, anybody can approve. So, like, I'm in the GitHub maintainers group. So, if you ping me for that and I review it, it'll leave Jeremy on as requested for a review, but my review will count towards the GitHub maintainers portion of it. And at that point, you would only need the LF staff to approve it.
Okay. I'm just trying to like flip this like from a higher. I mean, yes, I have lots of. I would probably figure out and know that I could ping you, Andrew, but like anyone outside of Hashgraph, like I was just trying to like how they would see this because we do have in a lot of repos we have stuck PRs, and even I am like, oh, I don't quite know how to get this PR to move forward. So, like, who do I reach out to for an approval? Yeah, just something this is just an observation I wanted to make.
And then the merging is blocked there. It can give you a little bit more hint of what's waiting on.
Yeah. But I mean, again, if I was to read this as a general user, I'd be like, oh, well, I need somebody. Who do I reach out to from? Now after this explanation, I understand, but like, I would find this very mystifying about what I should do next.
Gotcha. Do
It's
you
just it's just food for thought. There's no action needed. It's just
Okay.
I'm just kind of going through this as a user, and it's kind of confusing.
No. It's I'm glad you're mentioning it. I mean, because other people potentially could have the same issue.
I think it's a difference between like working within GitHub as an organization where you know everyone, and then doing stuff that's open source where like nobody would know what to do.
Gotcha. Is there anything else that we want to discuss? Andrew, Hendrik, anything that you want to bring up?
Yeah, so one other thing that
Yeah.
I'll bring up real quick is Keith, I sent you a screenshot of the different permissions that you can have associated with the team inside of a repository. And basically, the read or the write level permissions give access to being able to, add code, commit code, things like that. The maintain permissions give you a lot more management side of things. So like being able to set up project boards, being able to do more management with the issues and PRs. So that's the difference that you see there with the contributors and the maintainers group. The maintainers group gets the additional management level permissions.
That's great. Again, maybe we can try to publish more of this information. So it's maybe Jessica, I can work with you. Like, yeah, can we publish more of this information on docs, and that'll make it more discoverable by everyone. So
Yeah, sure. I think we have we can also work on the side. I mean, we don't have to wait for another meeting, but feel free to ping me in Discord and yeah, we can work on that. If not, if you're busy, we can also do this in the next, I think we have the website or the docs call. So either or, but feel free to ping me on Discord. All right. Anything else, Hendrik, Andrew?
I'm good.
Nothing from my side.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so then I'll see you guys in maybe half an hour for the event, for the yeah, for the event in a meetup group. So hopefully to see you there.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.